Welcome back to the Astro Experience. Today we're going to be talking about the moon in astrology, okay? Because I realized that I made the Virgo moon video and I made the Scorpio moon video, but I didn't even explain to you guys what the moon actually does and its inner workings, okay? But before I get started, Patreon is absolutely up and active. I do have the $5 membership available. If you cannot afford the $10 membership, you will still get free Big 3 interpretations as well as early access and exclusive access to certain videos, but you will not understand the totality of your birth chart as well as reading others. But getting into this video, okay, when you talk about the moon in astrology, the moon is part of your Big 3, which is your sun, your moon, and your rising. We mainly identify people by their sun sign, which is honestly backwards, okay? The sun is just the actions that you take in this world, all right? The rising is how you go about those actions. The rising is your aura, all right? And then the moon, that's more of who you truly are. That's more of your inner world. And the moon is a lot more important than the sun sign. The moon deals with the core of your being, who you truly are, your inner world, your emotions, all right? So a lot of times your moon dictates your actions because you can't take certain actions if you don't feel a certain way first. So if you're a Pisces moon, Capricorn sun, your actions may be stable. You may take practical actions, but you take them from a place of dreaminess. You take them from a place of imagination, all right? Then that's going to make you totally different from, let's say, a Capricorn sun, Aries moon. An Aries moon, your actions may come from a place of motivation, discipline, wanting to get somewhere, all right? So your moon shows a lot more of what motivates you in life, all right? You and somebody else may have the same sun sign, but your internal workings can be totally different. And then that can also influence your actions, all right, to a certain degree. When you talk about the totality of your moon, the moon represents your emotions, okay? It represents your comfort zone, how you feel inside, your reactions, how you receive, all right? The moon is also a very nurturing planet, a very nurturing, motherly energy kind of planet. So the moon also represents the mother energy, your mother in your life, all right? This can give you some insight into how the relationship with your mother plays out in your lifetime, all right? Because the moon also represents your subconscious origins. It represents where you come from, all right? The first 7 years in your life is when you receive the most subconscious programming. And a lot of us, we're mainly with our mothers in the first 7 years of our lives. So let's say you're an Aries moon, okay? You and your mother may have had a combative relationship. There was probably always a lot of arguments, maybe even a lot of competition, a lot of almost hate, a lot of passion, a lot of aggression between you two, all right? If you're a Virgo moon, you may have had like a helicopter parent. Your mother may have always been trying to control everything you do. It's almost like invasive to a certain degree because they want to be in everything that you do. And Virgos are also very perfectionistic, perfectionist, okay? So they may pick you apart a lot. They may criticize you and analyze you a lot, all right? Let's say a Pisces moon, your mother may have had addictions, all right? They may have had drug problems, all right? They may have almost been like naive to life in a certain degree. You may feel like you may be a little bit more wise than your mother. Or let's say a Capricorn moon, your mother may have been emotionally distant, things like that. Okay, it's not all negative. There are positive aspects and negative aspects to each placement, all right? But in general, the moon represents your mother in your life and the relationship that you guys have. Subconscious origins, which is the first 7 years of your life. Soul origins, past lives, and karma, okay? So if you don't believe in reincarnation, just think of it as the first 7 years in your life. But when you talk about past lives and reincarnation, the moon can also show you different themes that you've played out in your past lives, all right? Depending on the sign and the exact degree that your moon is in, you can kind of trace back history that your soul has in the galaxy, okay? And I also do galactic readings, all right? I can tell you which star systems your soul is most connected to in this lifetime, all right? Because you bring that energy into this life. So when you talk about past lives also, the moon represents your comfort zone, right? When you come into this life, there are certain things that you already like and that you already don't like, all right? There are certain things that you naturally gravitate toward and you may not know why. There are certain things that you don't like and you don't know why. You may travel to a new country and feel like, damn, this place feels like home. I like this place. You haven't been there before. How does it feel like home, okay? That's some moon shit. That's some past life, some internal shit, all right? So when you talk about the moon, it's very linked to past lives, all right? Because in order for you to be comfortable with something, you have to have had experiences with that energy already, okay? It gets very, very deep with the moon sign. There's certain energy that you're inclined to in this lifetime, all right? There's certain energy that you don't resonate with at all. That comes from past experiences, okay? When you talk about the moon, it's all about past experiences, home, comfort, connection, and relation, all right? The moon also deals with karma, all right? Saturn deals with karma, but more from an authoritarian dictatorship role almost. The moon deals with karma in terms of what you're comfortable with and what makes you feel at home, all right? So the sign that your moon is in will dictate what character traits your inner world plays out, okay? So let's say Aries moon. You may have, let's say, a Gemini sun. So your actions may be communicative, but your internal world may be warlike almost. It's like you're almost fighting yourself. You have a lot of passion internally, a lot of internal need for action, all right? But the actions that you take may be more so flighty, communicative, more so like intellectual actions, all right? But your inside is like very warlike. And then your moon kind of plays a part into how your sun sign goes about in this world. So a Gemini sun, Aries moon, they may communicate a lot about warlike shit. They may communicate a lot about passion, motivation, desire, aggression, competition, competitiveness, all right? So whatever sign your moon is in, you're going to take on those character traits, but internally, okay? And then the house that your moon is in will dictate what area of life that energy is more geared towards, all right? So if your moon is in the first house is about your surroundings, your environment, your personal life, all right? So you're going to be fixated on your own self a lot, all right? As opposed to if you have a moon in the seventh house, you may want to connect emotionally a lot to people in your life, all right? You're going to be geared toward relationships a lot more, okay? And let's say third house, you may be geared a lot more toward communication, your siblings, short distance travel, your neighborhood, okay? And then the aspects to your moon. So the square, opposition, trine, or sextile will show you karmic situations that play out in your life, all right? This will also show you how you can better maneuver through this life in terms of your inner world, all right? Let me clean that up a little bit. The square would more so be the challenges that you face. The trine would represent the natural gifts, the natural talents, the natural abilities that you have. The opposition would play as roadblocks or a need for balancing energy. And then a conjunction would play out as free energy, okay? So if you have another planet right on top of your moon, that's a lot of free energy in your inner world, all right? Say you have Mars conjunct moon, right? You're going to have a lot of passion, motivation, and aggression at your disposal. It just depends on how you go about it, all right? So the conjunction can play out as any other aspect, really. So when you talk about squares, if you have something squaring your moon, let's say Mercury can't square the moon. Let's say Venus squaring the moon. You may have a lot of challenges when it comes to relating in relationships, okay? You may have a lot of challenges when it comes to sensual pleasures. You may overindulge a lot, or you may force yourself to underindulge. You may punish yourself. You may feel like you don't deserve love, all right? Internally though, not even a sun sign thing, not even your actions. That's how you feel, okay? So when you talk about the trine, which is your natural talents, all right? Let's say you have your moon trining, Venus. You may have a very like healing inner world. Like you may feel like once you bring somebody into your world, they heal. Like it's very healing for them, all right? This is a very healing aspect, a very healing placement. Let's say Mars trine your moon. You may have a lot of athletic energy. You may be an athlete. You can probably fight better than anybody else, all right? And then let's say you have the moon trining Jupiter, all right? You may be a very smart person. You may be very wise, very expansive. People look at you as an old soul, all right? So the trine will represent the natural talents that your soul comes in with. And then the opposition represents the emotional turmoils that you have, the emotional oppositions, the emotional road blockages, things that you need to balance out in your life. Let's say sun opposite the moon, which is a new moon. So if you're born during a new moon, your actions and what you act out and how you see things would be in direct opposition to how you feel. So you may feel like you're never taking the right actions. You may have this constant anxiety. You may have this constant insecurity of you not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And depending on the rest of your chart will depend on how you actually go about that. Okay? If you just wallow in self-pity, if you're a control freak, or if you just say, fuck it, I don't care, and whatever I do, fuck it. All right? So this is exactly why the moon is more important than your sun sign, okay? When you look at life, everything has to receive first, okay? The moon is about receiving. The sun is about pushing out. So even when you see a baby come out the womb, what's the first thing they do? What's the first thing they do? They breathe in, they receive, okay? They receive. You put a plant into the soil receives a plant, and then the soil receives the seed, okay? And then it pushes a plant out, all right? So everything goes internally first and then externally. So your moon matters a lot more because whatever you receive would dictate what you push out, all right? So the moon is pretty much your soul. Like, how does your soul work? How you feel in your core, all right? So that is why the moon is the most important aspect or planet in your big three. And that is the moon, all right? So I'm going to continue the moon series. If you want to see me do your moon, drop them in the comments. I already did Virgo and Scorpio, okay? Go add my Patreon, hella value over there. You will be absolutely missing out if you do not, okay? But without further ado, I'll catch y'all next video.